Welcome back, boys, to our Key West trip. Part of our winter motorcycle trip. Decided to spend 4 months on the Harley to get away from the Maine weather. Yep, that's right. Snowbird. Pretty much riding in a sweatshirt. Not at home looking like a freaking popsicle. But whatever. It's actually pretty nice out. Today's a little bit overcast. But, you know, what are you gonna do? It was the day we had to go down here and see all of this stuff. As you can see, it's pretty green, turquoise water out here on the Keys. You know, it's a pretty straight road. It's not extremely entertaining other than the views. And as you can see, just look at it. The views are really good. A lot of bridges, crazy bridges here. Matter of fact, this was one man's dream, Henry Flagler, to connect all of the Keys together by bridges. And he financed and did it all by himself. Of course, he didn't build the bridges all by himself. But you know what I mean. It's crazy how one man's dream can come true like that. You may ask me, what would possess you to spend 4 months on a motorcycle? And I would say, it's awesome. No, in reality, it's health reasons why I had to do it. Can't handle the cold anymore. But I'm glad I'm doing it. Get to spend all this time out on the motorcycle and reflecting, enjoying life, and feeling the warm air. It's not a bad gig, honestly. Tried to do it on the inexpensive and the cheap, as much as I humanly could. And I'll be honest with you, it worked out pretty good. Now the Keys are definitely warmer than the rest of Florida, seems like, or at least it was when I went down. So that is definitely a benefit. And the ride down to the Keys is pretty good. We took the Tamiami Trail and did a bunch of the beaches along the well, I guess now we call it the Gulf of America. Whatever, right? The Gulf side. And then we got on the Overseas Highway. So when Henry Flagler made this was the Overseas Railroad, actually. And after some storms took it out, and he could never financially recover from that, turned it over to the state of Florida. It never was the railroad ever again. And they literally built the highway on top of the railroad, which was maybe not the best plan. But it worked. Most all of the bridges have been replaced. Actually, I think all of them have been replaced. Some beside, and they left the old bridges, as you'll see coming up, and some they tore the bridges down and built them in the same spot. Pavement quality is really good here, actually. Surprisingly. You know, no real frost heaves like Maine. You see a couple guys there riding road bikes. One of them had a tandem. I don't know if I'd ever ride a tandem in Florida. drivers here are, they're crazy. They just don't pay attention, it seems like. Yeah, you can see off to the right here. Here's one of the old bridges. And I believe this bridge they still use to get out to an island up here. You'll notice that's why it's painted nice and blue. It's good to see a bunch of motorcyclists there going the other direction. This is a bit before Bike Week, so there's definitely less people here, as in motorcyclists. Actually, traffic wasn't too bad out here. Never really ran into any heavy traffic, which is rare for Florida. Kind of hard to describe the feeling you get, guys, out on these kind of things. I'm definitely more of a mountain guy, riding the mountains, but I appreciate, the coast and, that feeling you get in your stomach and in your gut when you're just out on an adventure. And I mean, looks like we're stepping out into the great nothing, heading to the end of the earth. I guess technically we are heading to the end of the United States, the most southern point of the United States. Crazy, huh? Yeah, you can see the island coming up right here. Like, what a little oasis this is. How cool is that? They were running boat tours and stuff off that, it says. And then this bridge now, from there on, is pretty dilapidated and falling apart. It's kind of funny, you'll see some of these bridges, like, they're actually like falling into the water, like big chunks falling into the water. There's signs on them like warning boaters that like debris is falling, and pretty crazy. It's kind of cool that they leave them on the in the idea that you get to see this stuff, and it's like ruins almost. But it does surprise me to some degree that they just leave it. But, how much money are you going to spend trying to tear all this stuff down, I guess that's a thing. Probably too expensive. Yeah, these bridges are pretty big, pretty long. Matter of fact, one of them is called 7 Mile Bridge. I'm gonna guess it's 7 miles long. That would seem to make sense, wouldn't it? Not too windy out here today, which is kind of nice. I bet if it was extremely windy, this would be not the best ride in the world. Like I said, it's pretty overcast. I wish it wasn't this overcast, but it is. What can you do? Got the Harley completely loaded down with camping gear. Gotta be about 300 pounds of stuff on here. Got the King Tour pack on. She's a big heavy beast. We're gonna head to Baja Honda State Park. That's what we're looking for. Spend the night there. Supposedly they're gonna free up a space, or maybe free up a space. is the famous tree. It's crazy how this tree just grows in the middle of the bridge, how it's endured and survived. And the funny part is, they even gave it a name and it's protected. Yep, it's Fred the Tree, as it's known. That's kind of cool. Kind of embodies the spirit of Henry Flagler himself. Basically, when everybody else says you can't, prove them wrong. I guess that's kind of like this trip too. Everybody was all worried, saying I shouldn't or couldn't, or how was I going to be able to do this or that or whatever with this trip. And it hasn't been easy at times. Had some motorcycle problems, and thank God with the help of good friends and acquaintances, got that all taken care of. I was able to continue on. And here I am doing it, enjoying it, even though most people said I shouldn't and couldn't. They all should know by now. That's pretty much a green light for I'm gonna. Weird seeing signs out here for deer. Apparently they have quite a population of deer on these little islands that can become a problem with the traffic and them crossing into the road. Matter of fact, in some places they have fences on the side of the road to try to keep them out of the road. Haven't seen any yet, but I have heard about them. Atlantic Ocean there on our left-hand side, and the Gulf of America on our right. I don't think I'd want to be out here during a hurricane. Doesn't look like anywhere to hide. And stuff. I will say, if you guys want to come down here, you better book it ahead. I'm hoping that Baja Honda allows me to stay there. They gave me a maybe. They could free up an emergency spot, they called it. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, some road construction. They're working on roads. Good to see. Keep them nice. Oh, and here's our state park right here. It's about halfway down. It didn't take me as long as I thought it was gonna. See the sign right there for Baja Honda State Park. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or wrong, but I think it's Baja Honda, which only makes me think of Johnny Campbell. Cause what's more Baja Honda than Johnny Campbell? Baja 1000, that is. Well, wish me luck. Here's the office. Hopefully this guy lets me in. success, folks. He let me in. We're now heading back north on the campsite road. Atlantic Ocean, right there on our right-hand side. I mean, come on, seriously. Look at this road. I would highly recommend this campsite to anybody. Pretty epic spot, it seems like. I don't know, let's see how the campsites are, I guess, before I give them all the credit and praise. Windowless van. Don't be getting any free candy from that. Come on, dudes, check out this road. Seriously. Covered in, I believe they call it corquitas, or corquito, corky something, rock. It's compressed seashells. It's what they made a lot of the old forts from in Florida. Learned that in St. Augustine. Speaking of St. Augustine, that's where Flagler College is. Seems like the guy pretty much built most of the Atlantic side of Florida. Maybe a tycoon, one could say. Like, seriously, look at this stuff. How cool is this road? Oh, here's that turn off or campsite. Look at these spots right here, man. I hope ours is half as good as that. I think they said all of the coast or the oceanside spots were taken. So if you can reserve ahead, definitely get one of these oceanside spots. Oh, bathrooms and showers right there. Spots right here somewhere. Yeah, right here. This ain't bad at all. Check it out. Got electricity too. Nice bench, not a bad spot. Alright. I have to set up our tent, and then we're gonna go try to take some sunset pictures of the Baja Honda Bridge, which is what this park is named after. Alright guys, here's some pictures of where our campsite is. Our tent is all set up. Here is directly across the street on the coast. And as the sunset starts to go down, and then the sunset over Baja Honda Bridge. Well, thank you for joining us guys, and like and subscribe.